It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on Habscast.
No beer tonight. Didn't have time. I was busy getting a couple of Hage clips there at the end of the game, and then trying to watch that. And oh, geez, I gotta close the door just a sec. Yappy little dog. So, funny how in a couple of weeks the question can go, are we going to have a goalie for the playoffs to who are we going to start in the playoffs now? That was those are a couple of spectacular saves in the last minute there by Fowler. Holy frig. Unbelievable. I mean, the kids, both him and Dobie, battlers, right? They like to win. And you got a glimpse of why Fowler, every year for the past 5 years in 4 different leagues or whatever, wins 75 to 80% of his games. Just spectacular effort by him. I mean, the usual suspects out for like 2 minutes, just dragging their asses around there. Unbelievable that they managed to keep that out. But the first half of the game, I didn't think they had a hope in hell of winning that game. Ottawa was dominating, and I think what happened, maybe Rick, there was they came back from a road trip, Western road trip too, right? Yep. And this was their first game back, and they're back from Vancouver on Saturday night, and they were a little they ran a bit out of gas in the second half, and Montreal picked up their game and managed to squeak that one out. But I think I was on with Steve Lloyd earlier today from TSN 1200, and Steve was saying they're not going to, if the Habs win this one in regulation, the Sens aren't going to catch the Habs. And I think that kind of sealed it for them right there, saying, Montreal at least is not going to get caught by Ottawa, and we'll see about Columbus. But it looks like it's only down to one more team really that they have to worry about. It's getting closer to where you can almost, feel comfortable that the Canadians are going to make the playoffs. G'day, Blain.
How's it going?
Not too bad. What were your thoughts on all that, Rick?
Yeah,
I won't ask Blain because he's late.
Hello, Blain. I think the playoffs is all about gut check, and the Habs started off well, and then they kind of lost their way a little bit. Ottawa put the pressure on them. 2 games in 2 nights.
True.
They could have. No, the excuse was there that they could have not make it or kind of lose the game, if you will. But time after time again, like, say what you want about the Habs, they're a bit small, their goaltending is suspect, some of the defensemen are not the best, but they all battled. Everybody battled. Even Carrier, who, we all, we had some issues with his game today. At the very end, he made a big block. He blocked the shot.
You know what? I'm getting heck for not having a drink. So you two talk for a few minutes. I'm going to go get a beer.
Okay. For me, that's the one thing that every team has, is that battle. It's that fight. They're dogs, and the Habs today were dogs, and then everybody. People made mistakes or people screwed up some plays, and I know Carrier was at a tough game. I didn't think Slafkovsky was very good tonight, to be honest with you. Generally, a lot of puck management mistakes that made me wonder. So many passes were cut off by Slafkovsky, and then he was making extra passes for no reasons around the net. But everybody battled, Blain. Everybody gave it all they had. There was no passengers on tonight's game that I could think about. I don't know what your point of view, Blaine, is on today's game.
Well, they did make a lot of mistakes. There was tons of giveaways. It looked like errors in fatigue. They just, they played the night before, they traveled. Although it's not that far to travel, it's still some travel. And even though they were making those errors, they weren't quitting on the play. They consistently reset and reattacked whenever they did make an error. So it made life a little bit harder on Ottawa. What I liked most of all was the Canadians found a little bit of a killer instinct. They had an opportunity to close out the game. They did. And even though Ottawa took it to them as hard as they could on a second night of a back-to-back, they bent, but they didn't break. They took that, even though they were being tackled left, right, and center, literally.
My goodness.
They still made their way to a win.
That Hudson tackle. What was that?
It was a beautiful tackle.
And then even the on the goal just before that, there should have been a penalty, and then they scored. I was still grumpy after they scored about the freaking tackle. Like, what were the refs doing? It was neat that they had the wave going in Ottawa. The Habs wave.
For the Habs.
Like, what a fan base they've got, eh? The friggin' Habs. It's it's ice storm, supposed to be a great crazy ice storm, and they friggin' show up anyways, right? No ice storm's gonna stop them from going to the game. That was you looked in the crowd. Steve Lloyd was telling me last game he thought it was 80% of the fans that showed up were Habs fans at the last Sens game. And it looked 60 plus again tonight, just crazy. But Slav,
and you got to take 2 hours at least to leave the arena, right? Because I know. To get out of that arena.
It's a gong show, really. One of the reasons why I don't go, that, and plus I have to do this podcast right after. Well, I'd be starting at 1 a.m. if I had to leave that arena, And then it doesn't help with the 7:30 start either. Get home about midnight. But what is it with Slav and empty nets? Has he ever scored an empty net goal? It seems like he could have. How many has he missed?
He's the reverse Pacioretty.
Yeah. It's just crazy that Slav, I don't know how many times in this year especially, he's in the friggin' offensive zone. He's got to beat a friggin' forward, and he misses again. That could have came back to haunt them right there.
Of course. Yep. Of course. And it almost did if it wasn't for that incredible pad save at the end by Fowler. I've always been you know me for a long time, Grant, Blaine not as much, but I'm pretty relaxed usually. I'm pretty level-headed, but there was a little yell there on that save. I had to admit there, I kind of jumped out of my seat a little bit on that one. That was a lot of fun. And the thing with Fowler that amazed me tonight is he was scrambling to make saves, but it never looked like he was out of control ever, like mentally or physically. I was like, I guess I'm going to have to be spectacular to make this save, kind of almost relaxed about it. And
Carey Price,
they didn't panic.
No, Carey Price-ish, I thought, with how he... Yep. How nonchalant he looks in there at times, eh?
And his game management was very good.
What's that?
He was very good with the game management as well. He was eating up rebounds. He was covering them up. He was moving the puck up ice quickly, helping the Canadiens' defense and their breakout, which, let's be honest, they've been having problems with. And here's a goalie who can handle the puck that well.
Yeah. No, he tracks the puck well, moves the puck well. We saw his athleticism on that save on Giroux. Great pads. Hey, this could be a Halak Price debate going into the playoffs. Who do you start? And Monty or Kakinen, who do you start in the playoffs?
I'd go with Kakinen. He's been with the team all season.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
We were maybe a month ago we were having to debate and we're like, okay, what's like the least worst option we have? What's going to be the least damage? And now we're wondering, okay, who's going to be the one who's going to take us there? Right? The approach has totally changed, I think, in the last week or so with both of them being really, really good.
Yeah. No, the huge game, huge win. Texier comes in and he goes on the first line and got them going with that wraparound. It was kind of a little lucky. Ullmark kind of knocked it in himself, but I could see it. I said, that's in the net. And then finally the ref doing the point thing, and yay.
It's nice to know they can actually see something once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Comes in
But
handy.
that play right there was exactly what the Canadians needed. On that shift, that line was playing north-south and going directly at the net. That is exactly what the team needed. And,
yes.
A little bit lucky bounce to get in there, but you don't get those lucky bounces if you're not at the net.
No, Texier made a nice play too, and he got the puck, won the battle, got the puck, did the spin around, put it in. It wasn't, I don't think he was that noticeable all game, but he got the team going with that goal, and that was pretty good. Carrier, some struggles again tonight, I thought. Why did he let himself get hit like that? He put himself in a vulnerable position with Cousins and gets rocked again. And then, he's not tracking the puck in front of the net very well, I find. And there was another instance where the puck, the puck was right there, and he's looking the other way, and it came close to just being a breakaway chance. I forget who the player was, but they were right beside him, and luckily they mishandled the puck or in alone. The first two goals, that clearing pass and then not taking anybody out in front of the net. Not a great game from Carrier tonight, but he's out there the last 2 minutes too, and I'm like, oh no. And really just surviving. I mean, if it wasn't for Fowler, they could have had 2 goals, right? It wasn't because of great defense from Carrier. You see, well, Rick, you were replying to a couple, but man, oh man, like the Arbor Jacki fan club is just relentless, eh? Like if he doesn't play, it's just, I've never seen so much vitriol over a 6 defenseman not dressing, a 6-7. Like Struble was fine again tonight. Yeah. Did you notice Struble? Not really, right?
That's possible way I did not.
That's what you want. You don't want to notice Struble. And it wasn't him that you remembered, it was Carrier. Like Carrier was the one that had the mistakes, not Struble. Yeah, and this reading comments. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Arbor Jacki. I just don't like that people just shit on Marty St. Louis every time Struble's in the lineup, because Struble's a good defenseman too. And but Arbor, they were saying, Montreal's not, they're all out of sorts because they're getting hit because Jacki's not there. And what? Come on, like
the Sens play that way no matter who they're playing against.
And Montreal gets hit lots of games. Like it's not just Ottawa. And they, they battled. Galley battled his ass off tonight. I liked some of he really competed there. Some of those puck battles in the offensive zone there, I really have to give it to Galley tonight. He was battling. and Anderson was, of course, being Andy. But they picked up the physicality in the second half, and Carrier even rocked somebody, like got back Dylan Cousins. He thought, okay, I'm going to get Cousins, but it was the other Cousins. But anyway, the 6'3" one. But
he plays phonetically. He plays phonetically.
Homonym. He's a homonym.
Well, I mean, you in watching that game, I don't think having Jack-Eye would make any difference at all to the outcome. They were backing down from fights against Struble, so they would obviously run the frig away from Jack-Eye. So it would be no difference.
As I noted, like in the the response that Rick made, to somebody, because they were saying, well, Jack-Eye should be in for Carrier. Well, you don't want Jack-Eye playing 19 minutes on the right side. You just don't.
No.
And that's what Carrier does, right?
Yeah.
Including 3 on the penalty kill. And also, I mean, Struble's the one that beat up Nick Cousins earlier in the year. Struble has won more fights this year than Arber Jack-Eye. So can we just put to rest this? Suddenly, if Struble's in and not Arber, that other teams just take liberties against the club? Because it's not true. Arber's won 1 fight this year. So once every 60 games, he wins a fight. So he absolutely has to be in the lineup? No, he doesn't. And Struble was fine tonight. And yes, I think Carrier should be replaced, but by David Reinbacher, not by another left defenseman. Your thoughts?
I think the people are just the ones that are pushing for Jack-Eye. It's more to do with the fact that this was more of a rivalry game. They're kind of blinded by that. They want Jack-Eye to hurt the other team.
I know.
Where Struble matches up better with the Senators because he does have more mobility.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly. Right on. And the fact of the matter is, in terms of body checking and physicality, Struble, I think, hits harder than Jack-Eye because Jack-Eye doesn't have the mobility or the jump on his lower body that Struble has. Struble could catch up to the guy and he could really hit hard, and he is a rock, like physically. Forget about it, right?
Yeah.
And the thing too, who was Jack-Eye going to take on with Ottawa? Cousins is not going to fight him. We know that. Cousins is going to try to avoid anybody. That's just the way he is.
McDermott
is not going to drop the gloves against Jack-Eye. Like that's no way.
Not a single one of them.
No, nobody will. So who's he going to go after? What's going to happen is he's going to have to justify his role, chase after somebody, and probably get a penalty. Notice Struble in the first period. He went after Cousins and let him know that he's ready to take him on if he wants, but he didn't get a penalty. No. He was just send a message.
Right.
So
and he beat him up earlier in the year. So
so Cousins not going anywhere near him. We know that. No. So I agree, and the craziness of Jack-Eye playing on the right side 17 minutes. Come on, man. It's he's going to be exposed beyond exposed. I mean, it's not normal. I think we talked about it many times in the last week online and here. I mean, it's really Reinbacher to me is the solution on the right side. Because it's a secondary problem that arises, and I'm surprised I didn't even realize it until today. They moved Hudson on the right side. Now you got Hudson and Carrier on the right side. That's way too much smaller guys. The coaching can't cover every time. He can't match up very well because he's got 2 of them that are. And of course Hudson is tough as nails for a guy his size. He wins a lot of battles, but he's still a smaller guy. So you got him and Carrier on the right side. It's just too much. So again, Reinbacher to me is the best solution, and it's got to happen soon.
And the right side is just not where Hudson does his best. Like it was plainly obvious that he was not comfortable playing on the right side. That might have been one of the worst games I've seen him play in a while.
Yeah.
He was okay, but he didn't do what he normally does.
Right. No, he don't. You're right. He didn't. He had some, even some passes were off, and that like geez, Blain, what are you doing? I even said that at one point today, and I don't normally say that,
Yeah.
Right?
Demidov, you got to give.
Look good.
Oh my goodness, that was his best game in quite a while. He was rock and rolling tonight. 50 points. That's. It keeps happening here. He gets 50 points next year, and you'd be surprised if health permitting that he doesn't get 70. But I think he'll hit 50 next year again, right? That would be 3 straight years that the Canadians have a player under the age of 22 that has consecutive 50-point seasons. So Slav 2 years ago, Hudson this year, and Demidov next year. They'd only had 2 in their history, Henri Richard and Guy Lafleur. And it'll be 3 straight years with this group that they'll have consecutive 50-point seasons from young players under 22. How bright is the future for this group, right? And I mistakenly said, by the way, 2 60-point seasons in a row for Hudson under the age of 22, but he turned 22 on February 14th, so he didn't have 60 points at that point. But it was 2 straight years before the age of 22 of 50. So he did it this year. Slav did it last year. He did it again this year to be the only Hab to ever do it 3 times. And Demidov's likely going to do it next year. So that'll be 3 Habs in 3 straight years after 2 in the first 110 years of their existence. It's mind-boggling that offense is back. And they were saying a stat on Sportsnet, something about 13 straight games where the Habs are 15 that they've scored at least 3 goals, I believe. I'll have to check that out. That they're the only team that has done it, and so the offense isn't the problem here these days, folks.
Nope. The reassuring part for me for Demidov is this was a big, important game. This was a playoff type game with a physicality. No, they were playing rough, and he rose to the occasion. So reassuring for me at a young age to be able to do that.
I find he plays a little bit better in those more physical matchups. He seems to enjoy it. He's really strong on the boards. He's good at puck protection with playing on the cycle, getting pucks towards the front of the net, and then following it up. That's not something that most people would expect from a high-flying, skilled Russian. But, I'm glad they picked this Russian and not the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We all know 5, who I
mean. Yeah. So that is 13 straight games with 3 or more goals. That's pretty impressive in a league where, you average like about 3 goals a game or less, some teams. So that's impressive to go 13 straight with scoring at least 3 goals in every game. That's encouraging. I mean, the Flying Frenchmen, even if they aren't Frenchmen, are back. And it's
honorary Frenchman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, it's great to see, and let's have a quick look at the stats here, folks. Gooley with 23-19 again. Look at that. 4 defensemen all between 22-59 and 23-39. So Dobson, Hudson, Matheson, and Gooley all basically 23 minutes. What's that? Did you say something, Blain?
No.
Here, we'll bring you guys up here. So face-off wise, nothing spectacular tonight. Jake Jake was 56%, Deneau 57, Suzuki 50, Newhook 50, Cappy only took 5, 1-1. Plus, well, Struble was +2, the only player that was +2 tonight. And that's in
He didn't even
9
have
minutes.
10 minutes of ice time.
9 minutes and 12 seconds of ice time. So if he plays 23 minutes, he's +5. You know, 2 shots on net for Stroops, 3 hits. I mean, solid game from Jaden Struble. I wish they'd play him at the end of the game. Like, why does Carrier have to play 3 of the last 4 minutes and you can't put Struble out there clearing the front of the net? I don't quite get the, why they do that.
That's true.
I don't know. But it tells me that they're not about to, I don't know. I don't see Carrier coming out of the lineup, even if I do kind of wish that it would happen. I'm sort of doubt that it's going to happen, if you know what I mean. Demi, 3 shots on net. Loved how he went to the net on that goal, eh? But he ferocious competitiveness in the corners today. I loved his compete. But I saw that for 3 years, and one of the many reasons why I loved him, he's a lot more competitive than some other Russians. You're right. You're right about that, Blain. Geez, Matheson almost scored Panasonic Play of the Week there. The little dish between the legs, and then he tried to do the same thing with the goalie and didn't quite pull it off. But that was looking pretty promising there for a little while.
I love this game tonight. He was really, really good. Man.
Yeah.
I think we forget how important he is to the team once in a while because other guys get more attention. But boy, oh boy, when those games are tight, you need him so much, and he really steps up game after game. Much respect.
I'll give Dobson some credit on that rush by Stützle when he was just flying down the wing there. Dobson, good. I'm glad it was Dobson and not Carrier on that play because Stützle would have walked him, and Dobson kept him to the outside there and prevented what looked like might be a clear lane right to the net because Stützle was flying. You can see why he's on a 14-game point streak there. The kid's he's pretty dynamic player. I gotta give him that. Even though we're not Habs fans, are not big fans of Tim Stützle.
Well, what impresses me most is that he's a 2-sport athlete. He's really good at hockey, and he's amazing on the high dive.
On high dive, yeah, the tower. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had Steve Lloyd on today, and he was talking about how good he's been lately. And I said, "You staying on his feet, is he? Staying on his feet, is he?" Of course.
That's what burns me, though. If he would stay up more, it's obvious he's falling down sometimes on purpose. But if he would just stay on his damn feet, he'd be a lot more dangerous. Like, he doesn't score from his belly. Stay on your damn feet.
It's just so hard. It's just so hard to compliment Stützle. I know. I realize it's just
he
not
is a
in our
good
DNA.
player.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted to hear. What's your thoughts there, Rick?
Oh, I mean, he's one of the problems with Ottawa, I find, with some of their players, some of their star players, is they kind of put themselves in a position once in a while where they always have a little bit of an excuse built in, rather be Green pulling a fit at the start of the game to try to get the referee's attention, and the constant diving of Stützle, or the constant whining of the Kachuk, or Cousins acting like a jerk game after game after game. I wish there was a little bit less crap around Ottawa. I think it would help them out because on paper, this is a really good team. I mean, I like the Ottawa Senators' talent. They have good depth at the center line that I really think highly of, and good decor, and goaltending's been a problem this year, but interior should be better. But I think there's just a lot of that crap with Ottawa that frustrates me. And man, I mean, I wish their fan base had a different type of team sometime that did things a little bit differently. But I think that's one of the things they need to get rid of. And I think one of the things is the constant falling down by Stutzla all the time and not fighting through anything ever. That kind of, permeates around the team a little bit, and it shouldn't. So, man, just a little bit of maturity with Ottawa to be a better team, but they're going to have to work on it on their own. And I don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks, but I hope they'll be able to fight through it, but not to the point where the Habs don't make the playoffs. I wouldn't mind Ottawa making the playoffs instead of Columbus, but they can't go any further than that.
Yeah. The green with the little, and Steve Warren, who used to be on TSN 1200, who said something about, Green wasn't happy and, shouldn't have been a penalty. And I sure. Okay. Maybe.
I mean, it's pretty obviously a penalty.
Right. Could have maybe not been a penalty. Right. But I thought it was, but then they score and he's, fuck. And he's talking about, and then he swore at the ref. And I just commented, like, fair to say that the refs tried to make up for that, because
Yes.
the next, I don't know how many, it was free tackling. Sens had a free pass on tackling a few times. There were a few plays there that were quite questionable. Charles, I got to get this in because he's in Scotland and it's like 3 a.m. and just in case he wants to go to bed, I got to read this so he doesn't have to stay up too late. But he sent me £5, which is like $9 Canadian.
Wow.
Thank you, Charles. Hudson creates in his relentless, whether on lefty or right D. He plays with an edge, and Emil is the best lefty to play on right until Reinbacher is ready. I said that last night. I mean, you guys maybe think a little differently. He did struggle a little bit, but I still think he's probably the best guy to play either side. That's not saying a lot for the other guys. I don't think any of them are great on the right side. I mean, it's not easy to do. But Charles, it's funny, like when he does make these donations, it's usually at 3 a.m. Eh? And I'm not complaining. That's great. That's the 3 a.m. the 3 a.m. £5 from Charles in Scotland. Charles, thank you very much. I agree. These guys may not agree. Who's the best left defenseman on the right for you guys?
I mean, Struble has done extremely well on that side.
Yeah, Struble's not bad on the right, actually. I wouldn't actually, I don't disagree with that. And I'm a little surprised they haven't tried him over there a little more. He played in college and he played it well. He was good in Northeastern playing on the right side, and he has experience doing it. It just seems like, Struble, maybe I should start a Struble fan club and just every time he's not out, just be like the Jackeye crowd, eh? And hey, why isn't Struble in the lineup? And just post 400 times on Twitter every time Struble's not in the lineup and start my own wing. But I guess it probably wouldn't take off just like it does for Jackeye, eh? And you know what? Like if Jackeye was not somebody that won a few fights against some heavyweights early in his career, would there be this hue and cry every time he's not in the lineup? You know what? No, there wouldn't. So I understand it, but at the same time, I don't think that it's, I think Struble is more than fine being in the lineup for Jackeye. It's not like Douglas Murray is replacing him every 3 games, 2 games. It's a very capable defenseman in Jaden Struble.
I couldn't agree more. Like you said very well. There's this thing where it's like everybody some people seem to think Jackeye brings the physicality, and you lose the physicality if you don't have Struble. No, I mean, Struble is a hard hitter. He's strong as hell. He's physical. He'll drop the gloves once in a while. And if Jack White drops the gloves 4 times a year and Struble drops them twice a year, like, is that really a huge difference? No, it's not. Like,
No.
so
No.
I think there's this thing where everybody sees Jack as being the physical guy. And if you don't have Jack well, you don't have any physicality. Where Struble brings that same, a different level of physicality, but he brings physicality too.
Yeah. Well said, Rick. I've been waiting for you to say something really pertinent, and there it was. Thank you. Sheldon Hughes, $2. Great win by the boys. Yes, sir. Thank you, Sheldon, for the contribution. You just paid for my first beer. Thank you. I might even crack the second one now.
Where the hell are you finding beer for $2? I want to know.
Yeah, Costco. You not got them? You still haven't got those out in Halifax yet?
No.
No. Yeah. How much are you paying for gas these days in Halifax?
You notice how you never see my left arm? That's why.
Okay. All right. That much, eh?
It's a lot.
$1.80?
That's a lot. No, we're at about 145-ish now, 150-ish.
Oh, that's not that bad. Frig, Montreal. Montreal, what, 165? Something
165, 170. The truth is, I haven't looked at the gas prices in a while because my car's been in the shop and I'm about to be dinged around $2,900 to get it fixed. So the price of gas is not a big concern for me right now. 160 seems very reasonable right now compared to 2,700.
Well, we can still see your left arm for now, Rick, but that's going to be gone too.
Yeah.
Jesus. Even Rick has a drink. Wahoo!
Yes, sir.
Is that just orange juice or what?
No, man, I'm Italian. It's limoncello, the nice Italian drink.
Oh, okay.
You have to have some limoncello.
Kilkenny.
It's cream ale.
God, that South Park drink. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. Beat TO yesterday. Beat Sens today.
Yeah.
Greg, I should have had 5 beer tonight. That's true, right?
Make the show a lot more interesting.
It would. Yeah, but I do. I sure like talking to you. Yeah, let's go a little off. Michigan won tonight. The old regionals have started.
Yeah.
2 assists for H. He's in the corner here, gets it out. Boom.
Boom.
He dug it out. He's over on the left here. His office, gets it into the middle. Boom. So looked like 2 primary assists for Michael Hage again, the playmaking machine. So Michigan beat Notre Dame 6-1. They advanced to the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I think those 4 points put him back into the top 3 of scoring for the
he got
NCAA.
4 points? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got 4 points.
Really, eh? Because I looked at the highlights of the 6 goals and I only saw 2, those 2 that stood out. But okay, I guess he passed a couple nice passes from the bench there that I missed, but good for him. And sorry, that put him where, Blaine?
He's in the top 3.
Oh, he's up to the top 3 again. Okay, battling him and his teammate battling back and forth there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor McGregor.
3.
I mean,
yeah, that's right. But Minnesota, I didn't check the scoreboard, but maybe you could do that, Blaine. You seem to be up on this, or maybe you know. Did LJ get any points tonight? They lost 6-2, I believe.
No, I didn't see that he got anything on that one.
Okay. McKenna with a friggin' pass there again. Just, oh my goodness. You know, all of the scrutiny that he was under, you know, give him a half a year to get used to playing college hockey. It's not an easy jump for a friggin' kid who was still only 17 at the start of the year. And now you just see him, just making plays and making all of these really good college players, 23 years old, that are it's very good hockey, and he's making them look silly at times. So I can't see him not going first overall. I see a future 90, 100, 110 point scorer. You can't pass on that, I don't think, Rick.
No, I would still put him number one. He's got that game-breaking ability that nobody else has, and the truth of the matter is, people have criticized his defense a lot, his play without the puck, but he's been so dominant the last few years that he's never not had the puck almost. So
Yeah,
the fact is that what he has to learn is teachable, and I think he'll be fine with it. So I got him. I still have him number one. I don't think I would change that. And the fact is that he's more adapted to the North American game. There's more questions with other guys that are in the top five that maybe are not used to the North American game. And the truth of the matter is that he's improving as the season goes on, which is a huge deal for scouts, and it's a huge deal for me at least. So I still would say I still have him number one in my opinion.
I had Stenberg number one for quite a while from the start of the season, but like you mentioned, Rick, with him improving as the season wears on, when the games mean more, he has bumped himself up to number one for me at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, he wasn't great at the World Juniors, but holy frig,
he was good.
Top three in scoring or whatever. I mean, that's not bad in your draft.
Like, oh shucks, I played like crap. Oh, what's that? A scoring title? Thanks.
Yeah. No, like, jeez.
It's such a fault that I think a lot of scouts have to look at, where the player is declared a disappointment when he doesn't reach your expectations, and nobody thinks to themselves, well, maybe my expectations were wrong, not the player himself. And I think you got to think like that once in a while too, and say, well, wait a minute, what happened here? And I think I think some people maybe expected him to be like, have 20 points more than the closest guy after him. I mean, maybe the expectations were just a little bit too high for him at the World Juniors.
He's second.
You got to be careful not to pick people apart either.
He's second in college hockey in scoring.
Yeah.
Right?
Fantastic.
Second in points per game, second in scoring. As a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. 36
with an
friggin'
awesome
assists.
left hook.
Well, and that's not going to hurt his draft stock either. In fact, it might.
It's going to help.
And I said it at the time, especially now that they dropped the friggin' charges, which I knew they do too. But and all the hullabaloo. He's forever tainted. And right.
Taint me, Daddy.
You don't know the hockey world if you think that NHL hockey scouts are going, oh no. They aren't like, these aren't former Tiddlywinks players. These are former hockey players that scout, and no, they have no issue with sticking up for his mom with a drunk. No, no issues whatsoever. In fact, it boosts his stock. But second and I said it earlier in the year, watch, he's going to be top two. He'll be top five in scoring, and sure enough, he's even ahead of Hage here now, 2 years younger. He's got to get stronger, and he will, And also, when's the last kid that was a Canadian superstar, in junior, lit it up, that didn't pan out? Like, they put the work in, they put in the effort. You've seen the Bedard, how his game has evolved since. Like, he had the same friggin', I'm sorry, but he had the same issues in junior. I watched him in his draft year, and of course you're always critical, because if you want to be ranked number one, you got to be good. And he was on for like 2 goals a game the first half of the season. I was watching, and his defense was horrible, and man, this guy's not, and you're critiquing him, but then you look at the points, and then second half it was like 3 points a game. He was no longer on the ice for 3 goals against every game, and just lighten it up, and you're okay. Well, we gotta rank him first overall. And then his first couple of years in the league, really good stats, but again, the expectations are so high, right? And then he breaks through this year, and he looks fantastic and carried in the first half of the season until his injury. Chicago was in the hunt for a playoff spot, and he carried the team. So, it just goes to show that these Canadian kids, that are stars in junior hockey and light it up. I don't think you can bet against him. I think McKenna will put on the requisite weight. He'll learn the defensive side of the game as he goes along. There's no issues with his character from what I hear. I think I'd be surprised if he doesn't go number 1.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. Blain, it's a late game tonight. It's after midnight. You're turning a little orange here, buddy.
Yeah. Turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
I've got a nice early day tomorrow, so.
Okay, my friend. We'll let you slide on. And any parting words?
It was just fun watching the Canadians play a home game.
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Yeah, it's nice that they're back getting this home cooking. Okay,
Yeah.
my friend. Thanks as always, and maybe we'll see you next couple games. I'll be in touch. Okay.
All right. Take care, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Just you and me, Rick.
Yes, sir.
I talked to Metal Dave, but he couldn't make it. I was saying, hey, if you're around later after half hour leaves, you can join us. But Blain said I'll need to head out in 2 minutes. He said at 11:09.
Well, that's pretty good, though. I think it's 11. I don't even know. I can't tell on my glasses.
Holy jeez, that's perfect.
It's 11:13. You did good.
All right. And I mean, I was sick of them anyway, so I mean, it worked out absolutely perfectly. All right.
Yeah.
And you, early morning too, I guess. What do you got?
Yeah, I got
5
another
minutes?
few minutes, and then I'm gonna hit the road. I gotta take the bus all the way up to my mechanic to go get my car actually at 8 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah.
a long ride to start the day, and it is icy out here, Grant. I don't know what it's like for you.
Oh yeah.
My wife took a big spill just half an hour before we started the show. She was outside to get something, and she took a really bad fall. So it's bad out there, folks. Be really, really careful if you have to head out.
Yeah, like fill your pockets full of salt.
Yeah,
almost makes sense, eh? Couple of bags.
Yeah, it's rough.
Happy Hab, green is annoying. Yeah, friggin' chipmunk cheeks there on the bench, eh? Yeah, he is annoying. And he's always got that sour look on his face, eh?
Yeah.
No,
and that was the point I was making before, right? You instead of focusing on excuses, just get your home players game and take it as a challenge. Say, hey, guys, we got to, if you don't agree with the penalty, guys, we got a bad penalty. We got to fight it off and move on. And they just get stuck there sometimes, and it's not a winning mentality. Montreal could have given up in a sense. They had an excuse ready: 2 games and 2 nights. Caulfield is out. We have a little bit of a flu bug going around the team. We're down 2-1, but they didn't. They took their licks and they fought it off, and they fought for that win, and that's going to lead them further in the playoffs than quitting every time or complaining every time.
No, for sure. Sure. Donnie McCaskill. Cheers, boys. Appreciate the chat. And Suds with hockey. Moosehead here. Yeah, tell us what you're sipping on if you're having a celebratory beer after beating the Leafs and the Sens back-to-back. Doesn't happen every...
oh, man.
How often do they play the Leafs and Sens back-to-back and beat them both? Not very often, I don't think, eh?
No, it doesn't, and it's fun.
It is. And I will, Ottawa was out without their best player tonight. Like I will mention that. Like Jake Sanderson's just a star on the rise. Fantastic defenseman. But, the last 2 times Montreal played them, Newhook and Doc were out. And the second last time, Newhook, Doc, and Gooley, and they had a few guys out. And tonight, Caulfield didn't play. So, tough. You gotta man up there. But the Sens first half of the game, I can see why they've got a good defensive structure. Green is annoying, but he has got that team playing a hell of a lot better defensively than they had in the past few years.
Yeah, no, I agree, and they're really not far from being a really good team. I like their center line, with Stutzla and Pinto and even Lars Eller, and they're good.
Yeah,
there's some talent there, and they got a good top 4D is really good, and even their bottom pair is not bad, but it's the same problem Montreal has, questionable goaltending sometimes, but they just got to maybe change it up a little bit in terms of maybe their approach to the game sometimes, and they're there, but they're a good team. They should be doing really well, and man, I feel for the Ottawa fans. I want them to be successful because Ottawa have great hockey fans.
Yeah, I live here, and I grew up in the Ottawa Valley, and it was pretty cool when they got the team back. And honestly, when Montreal's out of the playoffs, I root for Ottawa. I mean, it's not Toronto. It's kind of like almost my hometown. I went to college here. I've lived a lot of years in Ottawa area. So, if they'd have been around when I was a kid, I'd be an Ottawa Senators fan. But I wasn't going to switch allegiance from, seeing 8 cup wins before the age of 20, or before the age of 30. 8 cup wins.
Wow.
No, I'm not going to switch to the Sens here.
I get it.
Wasn't going to happen.
No.
Lots of people did that in the area, and I get it, right? Yeah. Listen, Rick, I'll let you go. Okay, you've got a big day ahead of you there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Go do some leg curls there and get. You got a bench? You got a bench there or a weight?
No, I don't have any of that stuff. I just play hockey a few times a week, and I quit the boxing. I started boxing and jiu-jitsu at 50 because I figure that's the age to start doing combat sports. 50 years old.
Yeah.
And I took enough of a beating for a few years. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna find something. I'm 55. I said, okay, that's enough. I think I'm giving my body a bit of a beat down. So I just play ball hockey and play softball in the summer, and it's fine for an old geezer like myself.
You take it out on the guys with ball hockey.
Yeah. Well, if they annoy me, it's a little elbow up, and let's go for it.
Right on, Rick. Yeah. I've got some kind of a Macy thing down here. I don't know, bars and stuff. And I've been getting back into it a little bit, but I got to start going out to the gym again. Freaking cold winter. I just didn't feel like, getting all bundled up and going out to the gym all the time, all this past winter. So I kind of kept it in house, but it's time. I've had a kind of a lazy winter. Spending too much time in front of this friggin' computer doing these Habs casts.
Those 7-8 hour days, right? At the deadline.
No, I know. They start that up. Okay, buddy. Thanks again for coming on, and we'll
thank you, Grant.
We'll see you very soon. Okay.
Absolutely. Thanks again, and have a good night, everyone. Be safe out there.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Ricardo Springhetti, folks, the one and only. We put up with him because he's hard to get along with. Let's get to comments here. People seem to be saying what I not extremely visible, Texier, but he made it count. Exactly. Carrier cannot handle heavy teams. I find that the case. Who dislikes the Habs more, Gary Galley or Craig Simpson? Well, Galley at the end said, geez, there had to be a plethora of Habs fans that thought, wow, why are they starting Fowler over Monty tonight? He said at the end of the game, but yeah, you're really reading the room well there, Galley. Yeah, everybody like, oh, how could you be starting Fowler over Monty? I don't know, other than Mark Denis being adamant that Monty started. It had to be about 90% that Habs fans that were fed up with Monty and are glad to see Fowler in nets. But he says at the end of the game, must have been a plethora of Habs fans. And why are they starting Monty over Fowler or Fowler over Monty? It's like, oh, okay. You really got your finger on the pulse there, Galley. Actually, Gary Galley, I know personally. He's not a bad guy. Yeah, and in the past, I mean, he grew up in Montreal. Maybe some of you don't know that, but he grew up a Bruins fan and ended up playing with them. And if you grow up a Bruins fan, you're not a Habs fan. But it's funny that they stuck him covering the Habs. But I'll give him this. In the last year, I've seen an improvement from him. Like I'm fair. Even if I haven't liked his broadcasting and analyzing in the past, it has improved, and he's less critical of the Canadians than he used to be. And I mean, to a certain extent, they deserved it, and now they don't because they are a better team. But I found that he's gotten better with his coverage of the Habs than in the past, and he's more tolerable. I would still Craig Simpson. I now prefer Galley to Craig Simpson when it comes to Happy Hab sent me $10 and says, great insight, Grant. Thanks for all you do. Hey, really appreciate that, Happy Hab. You've made me a happy Hab. Cappy Hab. $10 from Happy Hab. Thank you very much. And I'm glad that some people appreciate my insight. Hey, I've got strong opinions, and I'm glad that people I'm glad not everybody agrees with me, but I'm also glad that people respect my opinion to on here, especially. I mean, on social media, it's a little less personal and people can get a little out of hand, but people here for the most part are pretty respectful, and I appreciate that. By the way, folks, hit that like button. You've been good about it lately, but it does really help me, helps the algorithm. If you're watching, we've only had about 99, 100. Oh, it was 99 a second ago. It's down to 89 on here. It's weird how that can jump like 10 in 10 seconds, but a lot more people watching on X. Come on, migrate over here to YouTube, Habscast. Press the like button and join in the chat. We have a lot of fun here. So I'm going to start getting to a bunch of the live chats here. It's a huge part. I mean, we talk about the game for the first part of this show, and then I like to spend, half hour to an hour, whatever, talking about, commenting and talking about what all of you who are on the live chat thought of the game and such, and our comments, obviously. The team best be paying for Fowler's meal and drinks tonight. Cappy with his $250,000 bonus, he's buying Fowler's food and drinks tonight. Buffalo and Tampa are the cream. Oh, sensational. The cream of the crop in the East. Okie doke. And the Habs are what? Tied with Tampa now? What is it here? Tampa has 82 points. Montreal is 82, but Tampa's the cream of the crop. I don't know. That seems to me that it's pretty close. I mean, if you're tied in points with the cream of the crop, you ain't half bad yourself, right? So the Habs are 9 up on Ottawa with 18 to go. That pretty well seals it. Tell you one thing, Sens aren't the cream of the crop. More closer to the bottom of the barrel than the cream of the crop. But anyway, thank you, Sensational. I wonder what team you cheer for, but Carolina is leading the East, by the way, with 88 points. Buffalo, 86. Habs, again, you talk about cream of the crop here. The Habs win their next game, their game in hand on Buffalo. They're 2 back of Buffalo. 2 back of the cream of the crop. So, again, Habs aren't too shabby. Not a bad team, I would say. 18 games left. If they play 500 hockey the rest of the way, folks, 100-point season. And that will be, 5 straight years that they've made 4 or 5 straight years with a points improvement. Certainly every year under Marty, they have improved their point totals, and they will again this year. They only need 9 in their last 18 games to tie last year. They're obviously going to beat that. That's mighty impressive, folks. Pittsburgh, 79 points. So they're Montreal's got a 3-point spread now on Pittsburgh and Detroit. They still have a game in hand on Detroit, so they've solidified a top 3 spot in the division, which is important, I think. Detroit played 65 and they're 3 back. Montreal's played 64. Boston actually might be closer. They're tied. They're 4 points back of Montreal with the same amount of games played. Columbus, they are 6 back of Montreal. And hey, I feel a lot better about the Canadiens. The 3 straight wins, very important, I think, at this point. I feel very confident about them making the postseason. Also think it was really important for the, I'm glad that the management staff said, okay, we have to do this. We have to call up. Monty's not getting it done. We have to call up Fowler, because after they promoted Marciano and then they started trying to make, the first game after the Olympics, they start Monty, and you're thinking, oh, here we go again. They're gonna try to force feed Monty into being the starting goalie again here when it's just clearly not his year. But they, I'll give them that. And hey, that's why you have a manager and you have a coach and you have a goalie coach, right? The manager calls up Fowler. Well, you're going to play him. And so, they all got together. Obviously, the majority said, okay, it can't be Monty going in nets tonight. This is just a biggest game of the year so far in Ottawa. We want to keep them at bay. 4-point game, most important 4-point game of the year. You can't be going with a goalie that's given up 7 goals, 5 goals. You just can't. You have to go with the kid that is the future too, right? So it was perfect. Anyway, all without the second leading scorer in the league. Right. But they again they were missing their they're stud defensemen. So, you know, a bit on both sides, right? Beat Toronto yesterday, beat Sens today. Doesn't get better than that for a Hab fan. I'll drink to that. Makes the future seem awesome. Yes. Eric, huge saves when it mattered most. That's some impressive poise. Fowler, man. Fowler's good. Demi's good. Good young team. Yeah. Slav, Fowler, Demidov, Hudson. One of them's 22, and he turned 22 less than a month ago. The other three, 21. Cappy, 22. The future's bright, folks. Page on the way. Yeah. Ottawa really needed that one. Nice that we pulled it off. Yes. Huge saves when it mattered most. That's some impressive poise. I know I already read that, but it was so good I had to read it twice, Eric. Ottawa must be pissed at their goalie. Well, they've been pissed at their goalies all year. Fowler and Dobish both ready for the challenge. Hey, Montreal has a history with the rookie goalies. Kenny Dryden, 6 NHL games, taking Montreal to a cup. Steve Penny didn't have a lot of experience and came in and, you know, almost got the Habs to a conference final when they weren't supposed to have anywhere close to that. Patty Waugh comes in, young goalie, goes on a run. Halak was a greenhorn, and he had that one great playoff push there. So, yeah, no, it's all good. Carey Price, and now Fowler and Dobish. I'm a lot more confident than I was a month ago about those two being able to do it at playoff time. And that's one. I still think they should have picked up a right defenseman. And somebody mentioned on here, said Gord Murphy, but I think they meant Connor Murphy. Yeah, I do wish I do wish they would have picked up a player to replace Carrier, but from all accounts and what I'm reading, I guess it's what, as you get closer to the salary cap hit is lower as the season goes on, and by next Monday, the Habs would be able to call up Reinbacher if need be. I think they should. Carrier, I'm not happy with him. I don't see him being able to handle it in the playoffs, and we have a better idea of why Nashville traded him. You know, I mean, they saw it firsthand for a few years, right? And he's just, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with Alex Carrier in the top 6. I think, given, you know, the lack of physicality from Dobson and Matheson to a certain degree, more Dobson, Hudson's lack of size, I think they need. I hope they give Reinbacher a look here down the road. Monty tapped Fowler on the back in the post-game interview. Oh yeah, was Monty the backup? Yeah, he was. You cannot play Monty over Fowler after a game like that. It would be criminal. Let's hope Fowler is here to stay. Well, Why? Who's saying that you would start Monty? We don't need to hear that Buffalo and Champa are the cream of the crop. Yeah. All right, whatever. There's always got to be something. Don't worry about it, guys. Yeah, you don't have to get too crazy about it. I figured sensational, just a trolling Sens fan. Maybe not. He's not being too bad. I see a lot of 31 and 32's goaltending style. First star for sure tonight. Yeah, I'd give Demidov another. I'd give Demidov second star tonight for sure. Hey, Tampa's lost. I don't know of their lost. To say that they're the cream of the crop when Montreal's tied with them. No, there might be a little. They might be more favored to win, but one team's going in one direction, the other's going in another right now. So to say the two teams that are tied in points, one that's well, I'm going to have a look here. But Tampa has got in their last 10, what are they? Not too friggin' okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in regulation and 1 win in their last 7. 6 regulation losses, 1 win, and their win came against the Maple Leafs. They lost to Winnipeg. I don't know. So Tampa has given up 5, 13, 15, 19, 24, 35 goals. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in their last 5 games. 5 goals a game. So if that's the cream of the crop for you, ain't much of a crop. There's certainly some debate there. The mark of a good team is overcoming those mistakes and still winning. Montreal has grown all the time. Yeah. Hopefully the youth of the Habs carries them down the stretch. Third pair, probably the fourth line identity or suspect. A way to go, but young enough to get there. No big deal. Yeah. I'm not high on carry, but you do need some balance. Well, you got to have a right. You can't have 5 left defensemen in the lineup. I agree with that. Gooley with Hudson. Gooley wants to pinch and leave Hudson to be vulnerable, especially for hits, unless a forward reads it and gets back. I'll keep a closer eye on that, Donnie. Can't say I noticed that too much. Habs would have lost that game earlier in the year. Amazing growth from these guys. Fowler is a stud. Go Habs, go. I agree with that. Huge win. Go Habs, go. Oh, Tampa's not. There's nothing. They don't set the freaking world on fire. Their second line's, doesn't have a Demidov on it. Yeah, they're beatable. Vasilevsky, if he's not, he can be a little inconsistent too. Can anyone see a similarity to 71? They brought up a young goalie from the farm. Yeah, a little bit. Who also played college hockey, put up great numbers. Montreal seem to be able to score on any team. That's a useful skill. Hopefully it translates at playoff time. Claude Giroux will be thinking seriously about retirement after that Fowler save. There he goes, Spoolie. Yeah. 4 summers, Fowler always square to the shooter. Yeah, I love his positioning, man. Oh, they're never gonna have refs do a press conference. They don't even put their names on the back anymore. Okay, well, I'm not gonna get into all the debate about, whatever. Like Buffalo's the cream of the crop. They've missed the playoffs for 16 straight years, but they go on a 20-game run and they're the cream of the crop. Like, whatever. Can argue and debate that crap all day. Life's too short. Fowler was the right call late there. Oh my God, did not bring back memories of Price. Reinbacher, please, soon. Huge gutsy win. Demi looked great. Be nice for Gooley on his strong side. He was good. I thought Gooley was pretty decent tonight for the most part. Great result by the Habs. Biggest concern are that Henderson continues to take dumb penalties. Yeah, he did. Galley coughs up the puck too much. Yeah. I liked his compete though tonight. He won some puck battles there. He was at least he was giving her. And yeah, he still does turn over the puck too much. You're right. Carrier takes on too many hard hits. That's a common theme. Thanks, Charles. No, there's no dominant teams in the East. It's wide open. It really is. Yeah, Struble was pretty good. We see the promise still in Doc's game. Arbor, he brought toughness to our team in a much needed time. Oh yeah. I still like having him around, as a 6'7" guy. Fine with me. And Struble too. I like them as 6'7s at this point. But still you got 5 lefts and 2 rights, and eventually here they gotta change that, right? That was a quick game. Might have been a good choice to go with Texier, especially considering he scored to get the Habs back in it. That's a fair point. Okay, it was Peter. Gord Murphy. Close, Connor, but he's 6'4" and he was cheap. Carrier too small. I know. I would have paid the 2 second-round pick and, a prospect. I would have done it. Personally, I'm not a huge Arbor fan, but I'm not one to argue over who should be a 7th D. Well, Struble might have taken a step back this year. Oh, I don't know about that, Mark. If he took a step back this year. But he has his good moments and bad. Tonight he was good. I'm a Doc fan. He's one of the top 3 big physical guys with the Habs. Great at protecting puck, getting to the net. Surprisingly fast, good passer, blocks, and takes away a lot of pucks. Oh, is Emil around? He'll be responding to that. Yeah. Doc's they'll be re-signing Doc. They don't have to pay that much. So, give him 2 years for his injury. Next year will be pivotal. If we don't see over a half point per game from Doc next year, then you start to say, okay, well, maybe we can move him on. Maybe Hage replaces him, see you later type thing. But you got to give him 2 years after a serious knee injury, one more good summer of getting, rehabbing, being in optimum shape. Let's see what he does next year. I'm still giving him a little bit of leeway, considering the seriousness, those knee injuries for 2 years. He's got good hands, he really does, and that hand size speed combination for a 6'4" guy, it's pretty impressive. And anyway, anyone catch a clip? Arbor was asked how much he can bench. He said none. He doesn't bench anymore because it will damage the shoulders. Yeah, it's funny. I looked into it a while back. How many U.S. development players have suffered serious shoulder injuries over the years? And that includes like Hughes, Caulfield. There's a pile of them. Josh, the kid in Josh Norris. But you can list it, and it's like over 20, I think. And Trevor Timmons, who took kinesiology at Queen's University, has made the comment to me saying, they don't train properly. Too much bench pressing and stuff like that. It's not the right exercise for these guys, and it's hard on the shoulders. He's right. And that's a good point by Arbor. I was going to say something about Hudson, but Grant said it already. I didn't think he had a great game tonight. No. Yeah. Evans' goal versus Kings, that was classic Doc in my mind. Past Evans, battle his way in front of the net. Yep. Darren 54. It was a full effort tonight. Go Habs, go. Absolutely. It's a 2-beer night, guys. I'll have one more beer. The young lad's home, but you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to keep going for a bit here. You guys have been generous with the donations so far, so I appreciate that. I always like to stay a little longer when people are contributing. I thank you very much. Ottawa can pound sand all day before we give you Rhino. Oh no, nobody's getting Reinbacher. Sergachev would look good in Montreal right now. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Trevor, back in the day, he did. Well, Ryan McDonough, and the year that they traded first and second round pick for Alex Tanguay, he was taking Carlson all day long with the 26th pick. Would have fallen in their laps. Johnny Carlson, Adam Fox, if they don't trade away those 2 second round picks for what was his name? Andrew Shaw. Adam Fox was going to be a Montreal Canadian. Sergachev, well, they traded him away for Drouin. But imagine the last 20 years having, and he drafted PK in the second round. Having Markov, PK, which became Weber, but McDonough, Fox, Sergachev, Carlson. You're like, there wouldn't have been better if the Canadians under Gillette would have been patient and not trying to win. It was more Gillette, actually. You can blame Bob if you want, but he was pressured by George Gillette to win now. And if they could have just, suffered a couple of lumps there, a couple of years, and just let these guys develop and not, make the trade for Gomez and the trade for Tanguay, and the Montreal would not have had price in nets with those defensemen would have been crazy. And they could have traded one of them and got like a, bona fide star up front too. So yeah, it's and even another one. Romanov could be playing for them too, who Trevor also drafted. So he did, over his tenure with the Canadians, draft a lot of good defensemen and would have drafted a couple other really good ones too if there hadn't been a panic to make some moves. Geez, we only have 78 on here, right? Almost feel like closing the live Habs cast that's on X. Get people have no choice but to come over then. Okay. Drouin scores a highlight goal versus the Habs the season before. Basically went around the net to blue line twice and ripped a hard shot. Yeah. Drouin had 2 or 3. And Jonathan Drouin in junior was just unbelievable. Like, his draft year, and especially at playoff time, he was. I don't know that I've seen a better playoff performance in 20 years of scouting than what Drouin. Like, he was even better than McKinnon that year. Just unbelievable. And he was full marks for going as high as he did in the draft, but it for whatever reasons it didn't come to fruition. You got to keep working hard. You got to keep going hard at it, and the work isn't over when you get drafted top 5. You've got to. Alexei Lafreniere is finding that out, right? Evans, people are saying Evans had a good game. Yes, happy for Evans. Happy to see he's not in Grant's doghouse anymore. Yeah, well, last 2 games he's been good. I'm not, from 20 games I didn't like to 2 that you like. I'm not gonna anoint him here yet, but yeah, it's positive turnaround, and I think it helps that he gets to play with Doc and Bolduc, right? It's clearly helping his game too. A couple of big boys with a, good in the corners. I was at the game tonight with my son. Not long before the Texier goal, it looked like they had another goal that ricocheted out of the net. The guy beside me said he thought it went in the net too. Usually the players know. Giselle, thanks for coming on and joining us here. Usually, the players will know, and somebody in the video will see it, and they'll be calling down. So I don't know. I'll go back and have a look when the video's up on my on Instat, and I'll take a look and see. So when you say not long after, you mean like within a minute, like on the same shift type thing? I'll take a look, but as you know, they can't score 2 goals on one shift, right? Love it, Grant. Great stats. Want to see you and Liam have a competition about that. Oh my goodness, no! I'm not having a competition with Liam. He's on his own plane when it comes to that. By the way, Liam's doing a podcast on Friday. He's finally home, so Montreal Forum. He's got he's going to have Terry Ryan on here. I don't know if it'll be Friday, but soon. He's been talking to Terry, and that he mulled it over, and Terry's going to come on. Terry's going to come on Liam's show. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, we got a lot of back and forth here. I'm just avoiding the pissing contest, if you don't mind, folks. Yeah. You guys see near the end, the speed that he came. Yeah. That's what I was talking about too. He came in there and yeah, it was wicked. But Dobson's good one-on-one, man. He's hard to beat. Decent mobility and can keep guys to the outside. Long stick. Hudson still played almost 24 minutes and finished +1. Not too bad. No, I didn't think Hudson was all that bad. And yeah, I think Hudson's the best. We're agreeing again, VDoc. Too often lately. What's going on here? Going for your beauty sleep. Okay, man. I appreciate you sending me $9 Canadian. That's very generous of you. Well, he's not going to clear the crease regularly. That's why I don't like him being with Carrier, and that's why I want Reinbacher, him playing with Reinbacher. Hudson is like Svoboda, seems to be made of rubber. Oh yeah. He never gets hurt, man. $170 a liter, yeah, today in Montreal. 2 weeks ago in Ottawa, like, I don't know if I gather most of you know, but like you get your gas at night, right? Because the price drops like 10 cents. It does here in Ottawa anyway. I paid $109 or $106 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. And now it's like $143. So this little war here that apparently is all over ain't helping things from the president of peace there. So I paid $143 2 nights ago, but it was like midnight. I go out late and wait for the price to drop. Rick needs a Tesla. Yeah. $1.36 a liter in Scotland. Ooh, $1.36. Yeah. And that's pounds. Holy frig. That would be probably over $2 here. Wow. Push the likes, guys. Little low for watchers. Yeah, hit that like button. Again, we haven't got a huge crowd in here tonight. I don't know what's going on. What, people looking at the new there's another new post-game show, eh? Ex-NHLer. I'm not an ex-NHLer, so I guess I can't compete with that. But anyway, that's fine. We'll keep trudging through here. We've got our diehards. Montreal tied with Tampa game in hand. Yeah, well, yeah. D-men are taking a lot of hits because of dump and chase. Carrier is 4th. Dobson is 6th. Hits received. Carrier is 4th. 149. Dobson is 6th. 140. Emerson is first and Schaefer is second. Well, that's an interesting stat, eh? Too many hits, man. Mind you, that Schaefer kid's pretty good, but people have made a point of hitting him, man. 2 wins in 2 nights against Ontario rivals. Defeating Ottawa could be considered a form of capital punishment for the Sens. There you go, Kelly. Good one. I'm never complaining. Yeah. Never complain about Lane Hudson. Well, once in a while. I mean, hey, it can't be all just, oh, he's my hero. He can do no wrong. If he has some hiccups, we're going to talk about it. Looks like I donated too early and Grant missed it. I don't see. This is just like before, Mark. I looked for this. No donation from you, buddy. First one that came in was Charles, £5 at 10:53. There are no donations before that, my friend, or I would have mentioned it. There. I don't drink, but I have Primo Indy. Ooh. Little kush or I don't believe there are always those dead weight contracts that make everyone scratch their heads. Yeah. Thanks for the tuning, Mark. At 11:17 p.m., buddy. Enjoy your indie. Hudson is 30th in hits received. So there's 3 defensemen in the top 30 in hits received. That's not good, is it? I'm glad Gooley's not one of them, but he hasn't played enough. Come on, $4 million. Look. That's less than the league salary, the league average. So $4 million's going to be just a fine number for him for now. Ottawa were losing when they had horrible goaltending. They are now winning even with bad okay goaltending. 17-1 if save percentage is .890 or above. Yeah, no, they're a decent team. It's good for the Habs to beat them tonight. Next up, Reinbacher. Yeah, absolutely. From the hockey forum, I read most are sick of Monty and welcome Fowler coming up and being given a chance. Oh, yeah, there's no way that the majority of fans were saying, huh, Monty? Why would you replace him with Fowler? The Nets belong to the 2 Jakes. Well said, Johnny loves puppies. Yeah. I tweeted that out today, Roger. You know, there have been people pointing, oh, Fowler is no good on breakaways. Hey, that was a great save on the breakaway tonight, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, I found that, you know, we were taking a small sample size with what he's done so far, even the AHL, NHL. I've watched him play for 4 or 5 years now, and I would not say that he is below average on breakaways. He just, the sample size that we'd seen up till now, yeah, he'd let in a few, but wouldn't call it a weakness. I really wouldn't. 100 points this season is probably the equivalent of 110 points last year with the East being so strong. Mm. Blain needs a beer. He had one there. Kilkenny. First start after Olympics for Monte made 0 cents at all. Yeah, I know. It did not make any sense. I better sign off. I didn't realize this guy doesn't like fans that don't just cheer for Montreal. What are you talking about, buddy? I'm just not gonna get into the back and forth thing. I'm on here to talk, not to the arguments. You guys can argue among yourselves. I'm not going to promote you arguing. This guy, okay, that guy. All right. You had a back and forth with those guys. It's all good. I wasn't criticizing you, buddy. I just wasn't going to promote it. Sorry about that, sensational. This can be a bit fanboy in here. It was great hearing from you. Our team still looked like deer in headlights during a 6-on-5. If you'll notice, I wasn't saying the comments back from him or his comments. You guys, when you have your little debates on here, I'm going to try not to, because that kind of drags it down. You know, you can have your topics and you can have your conversations. I don't think that I should be going through them all. You got, perfectly welcome to state your opinions on here, to have your debates. I don't need to promote them, and because it just everyone people will leave here pretty quickly if start doing that every show. So I read a couple of your comments, sensational, and then it was back and forth between all you guys, and you kept it civil, so I didn't delete any of your comments, so it's all good. Murphy or White Cloud would have been great for this team. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I wish that they'd have picked up one of the two. I hope that it means that they think that Reinbacher is ready, that they're going to call him up next week when there's the cap space, apparently, and they go for it. Oh, I'm going to go on. AJ Jakubek's going to be on. I was on his show, TSN 1200 today, and he's 1200 is the Ottawa sports station. He's going to come on tomorrow morning, and just like I'll record it with him, and then I'm going to do a show at 1 or 2 tomorrow afternoon, live show, and then I'm going to be on with the Habs Digest boys. We're going to be doing a show, I think, tomorrow at 5:30 or something like that. So I've been invited onto the Habs Digest show, so that'll be fun, and I'll talk with Josh and Jesse. Should be fun. It seems like we have an extra 3.5 mil on the cap space next year, assuming another team wants him. Yeah, that's true. I think you'd be able to get rid of him next year. When Fowler came up the first time, whoever the odd man out, who was not the backup, that goalie was the one starting the next game. I like Demidov compete level. He's going to be a lot more complete player when he's fully developed. Yeah. Good point, Happy Hab. He's competitive. Highly competitive. Grant, would you bring Reinbacher up? Absolutely. No, it won't ruin his development, Happy Hab. Not at all. He's ready, I think. Are you going to read anyone else's comments beside the ones with the stars next to them? Sorry, Randy. Was I skipping? I just haven't got around to. I'm just coming down here, buddy. You had later comments, so I'm just getting to them now. Did I miss some of your comments earlier? I know I was trying to skip over the back and forth with the debating there. I just I don't like when you get a fan from another team. Yeah, I don't catch them all. If I missed a couple of years, Randy, sorry about that. It wasn't on purpose. I don't even like. I don't look at stars or anything, man. I just click on comments, so that absolutely has nothing to do with it. Tampa is a good but very beatable team. I agree. Cousins thought he was going to get away with a shoulder check on Fowler. Yeah. Even Carrier knocked him down. Yeah. Anybody with a brain would want to play Tampa over Carolina or Buffalo in the first round. Much better chance. Carolina doesn't scare me. There aren't anybody that truly scares me in the East. You know, Montreal doesn't maybe match up great with them, but still the thrill. I'm getting 2010 PK Subban vibes. PK Subban vibes. I think Reinbacher gets the call up March 16th because Carey is struggling. I think Rhino never sees the AHL once again once he's up. Yeah, I guess PK kind of did that, eh? Gave him a bit of seasoning in the and then yeah, that's true. Then he had a good playoff. Francois, thank you for the toonie, buddy. Kenny, super sticker, $5. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Doc is a potential difference maker. Appreciate your endorsement for re-signing him. Yeah. Habs need 6 to 8 more wins out of the remaining 18 to qualify the playoffs. Am I correct? I think so. Another 18. I think 100 gets you in this year. That wasn't the sticker I wanted. Oh, no? What, you overpaid, buddy? Great show, Grant. I can't wait for you and Liam on Friday. Hey, good. Glad you tune in. Liam's due for a banger. Guess you'll just have to get another. Yeah. Mark, my man. Please hit that like button, folks. Logs End, by the way. I'll give him another little bunt here. Ivan still has his hockey stick there. You know, he loved Logs End. He got his flooring from Logs End. They're a good West Quebec company. Hockey guys take logs out of the Ottawa River, reclaim them, turn them into wide plank flooring. Beautiful stuff. Check out their website, logsend.com. Tell them that Grant and Yvan sent you. If you contact them, and they'll look after you. Craig Button says Fowler will be the Habs starter come playoffs. Well, how could you start a goalie that's got, wins 75% of the time, right? In Dobie. I mean, Oh, Grant is having the most enthusiastic podcasters on again. There you go. Yeah. There was another toonie I sent as the game ended before you came on. but I'm sure you'll get it eventually. Oh, yeah. Weird how that doesn't show up sometimes. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. McAvoy got his jaw and teeth broken earlier this year because of a shot by Dobson. He just lost a bunch of teeth again yesterday. Guy's disgusted. Yeah. Did Evans get a point again tonight? That'd be 6-game point streak if he did. I believe. I think that's a 6-game point streak for Evans. Hey, he's not on my shit list anymore. Go, Jake, go. Like I said, he should have been replaced. Hey, can't get them all right, hey? They should have upgraded on him at the trade deadline. Oh, well. I still think that there's a size issue there, but Jake has been a warrior. Kudos to him. He's playing well. Now that friggin' Deneau guy. Anyway, Montreal's very strong on defense. The goaltending's better. Really good on the wing. They need to upgrade a couple of spots on defense, but there's good offense there, good puck moving. There's certain parts of the Canadians that are good. They still don't look like a team that can go far in the playoffs, and that will need to be addressed. But yeah, that shot by Slav was a rocket, the one Giselle was talking about. Okay. Did you think it was in too, Ken? Or never a team with 97 points ever missed the playoffs in the OT lost point era. Might need 100 this year. Yeah, like I said, I think they need to play 500 the rest of the way. 18 points in 18 games. I wouldn't try to chance it with 98 or 97. It's just there's too many teams that could get 100 points this year. There could be 9, 10 teams that get 100 points, so or damn close to it. 10 teams that get 98, put it that way. Oh, sorry, these are repeats. Button does love Fowler. Craig is a big Habs fan, or at least a fan of their rebuild. Oh, Craig grew up in Montreal, a Habs fan. I did a podcast with Craig at Jack Astor's at Lansdowne Park in downtown, in the Glebe, Ottawa, and he was telling me that he grew up. Well, he said on the podcast publicly that he grew up a Habs fan. For sure, just like the rest of us. Grant, I heard the story once that Trevor was ready to draft John Carlson, but did you miss it earlier, Sil? I already mentioned this, yeah. Gainey traded the pick, if I recall, for Tanga. Yep. First and a second. Yeah. Carlson was their guy. Traded the pick to Calgary, and Calgary took that big Windsor centerman that never panned out. And Carlson fell right into Washington's lap. Hey, there's a lot of things you don't like. Pasternak. Boston took him at 25 and Montreal took Scherbak, but trust me, if they didn't take Pasternak, he was a Hab all day, all long. Like top 10 on Trevor's list. No, didn't get him. Missed him by one. Pajot, they were all set to take J. Pajot in the third round. Ottawa, one pick ahead of them, picked Pajot. Should have had him. Adam Fox, John Carlson. The list goes on and on of where they just teams picked one ahead, right in front, or picks were traded away, and that would have been the guy that they got, like Fox, Carlson. He drafted Sergachev, and if they'd have held on to him, would have been a hell of a defense, boy. All the last 20 years, all the Carey Price years. What a you build from the back and out. They'd have been built, let me tell you. What improvement do you want to see from Kapanen for at least this season? Oh, he's got to, just keep. He's a 22-year-old rookie center. I mean, he's got to improve. He's got to get a little stronger. He's got to get a little quicker. Keep working on his stick handling, making quick decisions in tight spaces. Just in general, there's things that need to be worked on physically for him, and still adapting to the speed of the NHL. Again tonight, he had to go up against he was up against the top two lines all night, and it's not easy for a rookie center to be asked to do that. So there'll be growing pains, and just more of the physical end of things. He's a pretty smart player, but just keep getting stronger, developing, working on his skill, his strength, his speed, and just keep improving in general. Good question, Eric. Johnny loves puppies. Yeah, Johnny loves Habs cast too. Thanks, Johnny. Thank you for the $5 donation. I'll go. We're hitting a 2-hour mark here. I'll go another 5 here. We'll wrap it up. I'm almost caught up. Habs can possibly have 13 players with over 10 goals this year. Currently at 10 with, Sexy, Texy, Newbie. When was the last time the Habs had this much depth scoring? Yeah, I'm not sure. By the way, Paul Antoniadis sent me a thing today. Habs and the Colorado are the only two teams with 6 40-point scorers. Yet one of the Colorado players with 60 points happens to be Kadri, so that doesn't really count. So really, Montreal's the only team that's had 6 40-point scorers. That's pretty cool, eh? And you got to think that Cappy and Matheson are going to do it as well. So 8 40-point scorers. I got to think there haven't been too many years in recent times where the Habs, let's just look. Last year they had 4 in total. They already have 6 this year. Okay. Year before, 4. Again, they should double that. Cappy and Dobson are at 33. They're on pace for 40. Year before that, they had 1 40-point scorer. Oh, the dark days, eh, folks? Year before that, 2. So you're seeing, right, like the Habs getting secondary scoring. Year before that, that wasn't 80 games, so they had 3 players, 41, 42, 44 points, but that wasn't a full season. And same deal for the year before. They actually had, they had 6 in 71 games in 2019-20. So that's the only year in recent times that was close as far as the depth goes. They had 7 the year before that. Petrie, Shaw, Gallagher, Drouin, Deneau, Tatar, Domi. But where the difference is, Domi was the top scorer at 72, right? And Susie's going to get like 100 probably. Hudson 80, Caulfield 80. Like, this is the best offensive wagon that the Canadians have had in decades. For the year before that, and you go back after that, I'm positive there's some years where they only, they might have had 1 40-point scorer. So yeah, it's the solid days are here, folks. Money Puck now sees the Habs 92% playoff lock. Do they still have the Sens as a bigger, more likely to win the Cup? They had them the other day. It was like 5.8% for the Sens and 2.9%. Basically twice the odds that the Sens would win the Cup. Frick, they got to make the playoffs first. I found that a little funny. How scary is CBJ? Well, we'll see. Hey, no problem, Sil. It wasn't long earlier. It wasn't maybe 5-10 minutes before. No problem though. I did mention it. Yeah, Columbus is scary. But if they go on a losing streak now, I still think, well, you got to think that the odds of them getting in are decent if they keep playing anywhere close to what they've been doing. I'd like that for Columbus, with what happened to Johnny Gaudreau. All of the tragedies with the goalie, all of the players leaving, just all of the unfortunate stuff that franchise has endured over the years. Not a lot of playoff appearances and stuff. Sean Monahan, I love Sean Monahan. He signs to go play with his buddy Johnny, and then that happens. And that's another team. I want Buffalo to make the playoffs. I want Columbus to make the playoffs. Montreal to make the playoffs. Money Puck goes to 100 if they win out this weekend. Yeah, maybe, eh? Just, I want to get to. Sorry, folks. I guess I should say what's coming up here, right? I don't even know who they're playing this weekend. That's how confident I are about them making it. Oh yeah, right. The Ducks and the Sharks. So, oh yeah, we just played you there. You come back, you play us here. Sharks, Ducks. We'll see. Friggin' Celebrini, man. They could not stop him the other day. Bruins, Red Wings, Islanders. Teams that are fighting with for playoff spots. Carolina, Columbus. that's an important stretch. But all but one of them are at home, and they're winnable games. So the Habs can win 5 of the next 7. I'd say that's it. They're, they've made it. Won't officially have clinched or anything like that, but they'll be tough to beat. Hage and immediate impact, maybe. He's capable of it. Hopefully this summer, young guns say, that's a good point, Ken. Really hungry and spend the summer in Montreal again. Yeah, for sure. Bring up Reinbacher means less Carrier and Lane will be on his proper side. I agree, John. Wholeheartedly. I think Jarosky is 2 out before he can join the Habs, maybe even 3. Oh yeah, he's a ways away. Only 3 teams in the West are 100%. Doesn't mean they are mathematically locked, but they are so stronger than other teams in the East that the model sees them win most games. And most of the games now are within your own conference, especially after this weekend, right? San Jose, Anaheim, they finish their road trips there. It's mostly interconference and interdivision. The rest of the way after that. Grant, thank you for the great show. Thank you, Mark, as always, for tuning in. Doc is 8 goals. Yeah, considering how rusty he is and how many games he missed, right? Yeah. Yeah, there does remind me a little bit of the Blackhawks, Taves, Suzuki, yeah, Kane, Demidov, Hudson, Dobson, or Keith and Seabrook a little bit, Bolin, Cappy. Yeah. Yeah. No, there are some similarities there. Then you got to think Hossa. Maybe the best one is the 2 Slovaks, right? Hossa and who happened to be Slav's hero. There's some similarities there. That's the guy he kind of wants to patter himself over. So, yeah, definitely. Money Puck sees great analytics with Ottawa. Yeah. Right. Whatever. Analytics. The most important thing to analyze is where you are in the standings, right? You are what your record says you are, as Bill Parcells always used to say, and it's true. I missed some of the show, but I'll make sure to watch it all. Thank you for the entertainment tonight. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. Appreciate the generosity. Thank you for the pounds. Thank you for the 10 spot. Couple of 5ers, few toonies. All good. Keep things rock and rolling here. I still have to go and try to find some sponsors. By the way, anybody that wants to sell some advertising sponsorships, steer them my way. I'm looking for some help in that way. All right. Analytics, that's what counts. Absolutely. Will I be back on? Oh, probably. Yeah, Mitch usually has me on. Talk draft. Mitch is pretty good that way. He hasn't been inviting me on here since I started the Habs cast, but maybe, there's a bit of a conflict there, I guess, or whatever. That's fine. But when it comes to the draft, no conflict, and he'll. I would suspect Mitch will have me back on. I love Mitch has a great show, and I love being on it. All right, guys. 12:30. Time to get some shut eye. Still the thrill. Have a great night, Grant. Careful on the road tomorrow. Yeah, that goes for everybody. Careful driving. I really appreciate you coming on. Please hit the like button. Tell your friends if they're Habs fans about the Habs cast. I'd like to keep the audience growing if we can here. Seems to be more competition popping up all the time, so we got to keep their nose to the grindstone here. But I'm glad that I've got my regulars, and you truly are making this all possible to keep doing. So thank you. Have a great night. Hope you can tune in tomorrow afternoon for my show with AJ. We'll be talking about tonight's game, and it's always fun talking with AJ. I can razz him about the Habs not picking up Kadri after all. All right. Thanks again. Have a great night. Pleasant dreams, everyone.